Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. Before I get started, I will say I apologize if you can hear my disk drive being cute on the computer over beside me. It's in the process of installing a lot of this, so that is a thing that is going on right now. But today, I want to go ahead and look at a figure that I am so excited. I was excited for. Now that I have it, I'm in love with it. The new Transformers Armada Starscream in the Legacy line. This thing is great. This is absolutely great. Getting the weapon storage out of the way right now, just because I do plan on doing there's gonna be a lot of comparisons and stuff. You can peg on the two different swords there, or peg them right here. And have them like that. That's as far as we're going to go. Get these out of the way. We'll look at them properly later. But first, I wanted to actually just look at the boy. The boy looks so good. Lots and lots of molded detail all over him. You know, the head's a little bit visible in this mode. This is Armada Starscream. That is a thing. I love the metallic blue for the cockpit up here. Little bits of yellow paint all over. Just really nice mold. Good sculpting. It can be a little fun trying to get the legs to peg into this red section here. I'll go over that a little bit later, but right now I have him holding, being good. Shockingly clean underside flight stand port right there. Two more weapon ports right there if you want, as well as one up here underneath the nose of the plane, which will bring in the one and only real problem, quote-unquote, I have with this guy. No minicon. He has no minicon ports. There's nowhere to pop this guy on just for fun. And the only reason I would expect that is because a figure we've already looked at before, the Deluxe Class Generations Armada Starscream, has minicon ports. He has a lot of minicon ports. He can still plug on to the old minicon from the Armada figure. You have no way of doing that with the new one, which is... It's a weird omission, because like they were putting minicon ports on Armada, designs, like all the way up till Combiner Wars. The leader class Armada Megatron still has minicon ports. It's a weird change that this guy doesn't have them. But that aside, here you can see comparison in the jet modes. This guy is a Voyager, and he's not a ton bigger than the deluxe figure. But I will say already, that is because this is a very clean, very compact jet mode. There's a lot more going on to this one than there is this one. Though there is, as you would expect, a similar transformation still going on. I guess technically I should have these like that. Oh, yeah, just realized. You technically can't transform this guy correctly because the arms go back along the body in this one. Weird. But yeah, so here he is with the one I am dropping, the Generations. I think that was a Thrilling 30, I can't remember. And for fun, here he is with the original, which of course is just insanely big compared to this guy. It's when you compare these Armada figures to their modern remakes that you remember, oh yeah, they've been ridiculous with plastic prices, and so my Transformers are shrinking. But you can see they've done a really good job of hitting a lot of the same, sculpted details. Most of the colors are still, present and accounted for across them. All in all, really, really nice update to the design. Okay, so actually getting to transformation on this guy. It is basically what you would expect from an Armada Starscream mold, but there are a couple little tricks to it which I do appreciate. I'm going to start by coming down here and just folding down his arms. Open up this panel and fold out his hand. And then actually you can see that the top of the shoulder here is on that slightly exposed pin. That is so you can slide the shoulder inwards a little more. So it actually slides out for the jet mode, and then slides in for robot mode. So, same thing. Down, open, hand, close, in. Go ahead and fold the wings up and angle them back a little bit, just because it's nice to get them out of the way early. Come to the back here, and it's already popped off, but you can see that this red section here has these little cutouts that are actually snapping on over these just kind of molded details on the legs. This is probably like the one problem with this mold, quote unquote, in that it really doesn't stay put very well. It's not really necessary to have it done either. It's not a big deal, but that is a thing. There is also actually a little flat tab right there that's trying to go into the spot right there in the pelvis. Again, it just doesn't hold. No big deal. But go ahead, do that. Then go ahead and just give these legs a little bit of a separation right there to get these two panels to unclip from each other. Then go ahead and bring the waist down, which will get you the clearance to straighten the legs down, turn them around. Like that. Go ahead and fold down the feet now just to get them done. Fold these sections in and they will fill in the back of the calves. Go ahead and push this down the rest of the way, and when you're folding all of this in, it will actually end up pushing up his head. So he does actually have a bit of an old school head reveal, which I will always appreciate. Nope, you're gonna stay there for now, at least. Then go ahead and just take the nose of the plane, fold it down. There is a slot right there, tab right there. That'll help keep everything lined up. And then just go ahead, take this little red section and fold that down. Two little tabs right there, they'll lock it in place. And we're done. There we have Armada Starscream in his robot mode. And this guy looks so good. Like, I'm genuinely stunned how good this guy's mold and sculpt is. Oh, I forgot one more thing. The little wings on the sides of the nose, they actually push down and close in around the waist. So, great looking figure. I forgot something else too because I'm too excited here. He's got heels. Every version of this figure, this design always has heel spurs. Or did I forget anything else? Did I forget anything else? No, I think I actually got him right this time. At least I caught it early. But yeah, great sculpt. As you can see, the head is just incredible. You can already hear the Linkin Park AMVs playing softly in the background. Wonderful job on his face. Nice painting on the inside of the cannons there. I'm going to go ahead and get the comparisons between the other two main versions of him out of the way first. Here we have him beside the deluxe class, and here you can definitely see the size advantage that he has over this version, as well as, these actually fold in on this guy. And you will notice, yeah, this one, he's got his blasters folded down along his back. You can do that with this guy too. Go ahead. The way you do it's a little weird because you actually have to fold this panel up and then fold down this red panel, or this gray panel here with that actually has the blasters on it. And then doesn't really peg in when you do it that way, but it doesn't need to. The front is holding everything in place. So if you want him like that, you can have him like that. Looks good. And And then he fall over while I mess with other figure. Here he is beside the original. And in this mode, actually, like, yes, the original's still bigger, but not as much bigger as you would kind of expect. Yeah, you can see this the head sculpt on the new one looks a lot more, shall we say, true to Starscream than it does on this one. This one's not bad by any means. I still love this figure, but and you can see he just has this huge section that just stands straight out on his back. Meanwhile, this is the cleanest version of the figure to ever exist. So there's all that. Let's go ahead and get into his posability really quick. Obviously, you've got the thing with the back here. I'll go ahead and fold this up for a second to show you can also flip the blasters forward. So he's more accurate to the original figure than the Generations one was, as those blasters kind of pushed forward a little bit. They didn't flip around like this. Obviously, these don't shoot anything, but you can put in a blast effect or something if you want. You can even, plug in one of his swords. Looks ridiculous, but you can do it. The wings can rotate and then move backward on this hinge. I'll go ahead and put them like that just to keep them out of the way for now while I go into the shoulders. He does have free rotation. Arm moves out all the way. You technically have this joint here for backwards movement as well, as if you want. There's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow actually, so he's got full range there. No wrist rotation, sadly. You get a little bit of fist up and down just because of, the transformation hinge. Most figures like this, I'd be complaining about the lack of, just putting in that extra mushroom peg for the wrist. Due to the size here, I can actually understand the fact they didn't do it. He can kick forward all the way, kick back all the way. He can do just the most painful looking splits you have ever seen. On mine, this one mushroom peg will like to come unpegged. It doesn't do it just from regular messing with them. It specifically only gets worked loose during transformation. And to be fair, that could be why I was having trouble getting this section to peg on. That's on me. He does have a little bit past 90-degree bend at the knee. Technically, if you want, you can open up the panel back here. His sword is actually the best way to do that. And then you, from transformation, you have a full range there, if you do it that way. In fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is just on a friction hinge. So if you want the posability more than the filled-in calf, just pop that off and, hey, there you go. Full knee range. That is shockingly hard to say, actually. Let's see if I'm smart enough to actually get this to pop back in now. Come on. Oh, I see where the cutouts are for doing that. 1 second. There we go. Anyway, he has a ankle rocker. Nothing super deep, but it's nice that it's there. Toes can bend down, forward. You can adjust the heel. So he does end up having an incredible range of posability. And I'm sure a couple of people are already screaming because this guy managed to do something that a lot of people, like even the third-party versions of this guy, never have really done. He has a waist rotation. It's definitely limited because he has this panel in the front here. But he's got it. And that little bit of wiggle just opens up so many new poses for him. It's actually insane. So there's all of that with him. Let's go ahead and actually look at his accessories now really fast. First one being what is very clearly supposed to be his wing sword. I'm personally glad that we don't just rip off a wing and use that as a sword. A, at this size, I can see that being a little bit of a problem. B, you guys have no idea how long it took me to find an Armada Starscream that still had his wing because of that gimmick. Would have been nice if this was painted, because I know some of the early test product shots did show this as being painted. Yes, that definitely would have been preferable. It also isn't too hard for me to actually just get off my butt and paint this. It's got, all these lines going across it, acting as natural dividers. It shouldn't be that hard. Someday I will stop being lazy and I will paint this up. He looks really good holding it, because it is, this is the weapon he's supposed to have, so that's always a nice touch. And if you want to pretend that he's, an accurate Armada Starscream, just leave this one folded back like that against his, against the cannons or whatever, and there you go. He looks like he took his wing off like he did in the old days. And then his other accessory is the Starsaber. And I love that they went to the hassle of molding a full Starsaber, which, if you didn't know, in the original, this was made up by a team of 3 minicons. I don't have the normal Starsaber. I only have the Dark Starsaber variant, and I did not want to go through the hassle of digging it out. Someday I will do a video on that little team, and then we'll compare then. But you can see, you can tell all 3 jets that are in it. You can see where this one folded up and his landing gear on top now. It's so well done. It's way more detail than they needed to go to, but they did it anyway. He holds it just fine too. He looks so cool when you get him dual wielding and do something, do a better pose than I'm able to do on the fly here. Again, just that little bit of waist joint gives him so much more potential and more options. This really is like the definitive version of this Starscream in so many ways. It's the most posable. I feel it definitely looks the best because it has the most, recognizably Starscream head shape and everything. It's just a great figure. No clear plastic swords that I'm scared are going to shatter if I think about them too long. Just overall, fantastic figure. Probably the biggest recommendation I will make for a very long time. So, on that note, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for dealing with me rambling and just being a little too excited about this guy. You guys know, Starscream's my boy. This is a great Starscream. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.